EDU224 From Vision to Reality, B1600282. In this presentation, I'm going to talk about my ideology of education. But first, let's talk about my previous ideology of education. Mine was based on my experience at school, what I've seen on placement, and previous modules we have done. Therefore, I thought education was in a school where you got taught set lessons and then tested, so this module has helped me generate a more insightful ideology. So what is an ideology? Matheson defined it as any package of educational ideas held by a group of people about formal arrangements for education. The basis of my ideology is that education should be child-centred. This is because it is important for the child to receive a personalised approach, as not all children are the same. Because of this, the teacher and the environment should be able to accommodate and adapt to the child. Steiner education is very child-centred, as he believed in the holistic approach of educating the whole child. Steiner schools show that education should be practical and artistic while still developing knowledge. Steiner schools also incorporate skills and experience into their learning. Montessori is also child-centred, as she believed that children should be in charge of their own education and that they should learn on their own through investigation. The environment is also very child-centred, so that the children can reach the activities and feel comfortable in their classroom. In Finland, their education is also child-centred. Children do not start school until they are 7 years old. It is thought that this allows them to have time to be children and they can find out what they are interested in, which is beneficial when they start school. Finland's education takes a different view, that all schools are equal, as all children should have equal education. It does not matter about any financial background or disabilities, because it is trusted that the nearest school will be able to implement the same education regardless. Something else that these three approaches also agree on is standardised testing. From past experience, I know that lots of exams can be stressful, but now the government has decided to introduce standardised testing to even younger ages. I do not agree with this at such a young age, as I believe that there are less pressurised ways to see a child's progress. Montessori uses observation in order to see what stage the child is at. In a Steiner school, the teacher stays with a class for 8 years in the lower years, which means that they are also able to track a child's progress through observation and formative assessment. In Finland, there is only one exam that is taken at the end of high school to see if they can continue on to higher education or not. My concern would be that they would not be used to the exam process and there would be immense pressure on this one exam. So I would want a happy medium where you do not have exams as a young child, but they are gradually introduced when you are older. Creativity is also an important part of my ideology, as I believe there is not enough focus on this compared to literacy and numeracy. I think creativity should be used as an approach and incorporated into other subjects rather than dedicating a set amount of time, and often children seeing this as a treat when it is an essential part of learning. Ken Robinson believes that we are getting educated out of our creativity. We forget about the rest of our bodies and just focus on our brain. We are trying to educate children for jobs that don't exist yet, but the only way there is going to be new jobs is if people are creative enough to keep evolving society. Outdoor learning is another way that creativity can be implemented into the school day. Outdoor learning is also another way to holistically educate children, as you are teaching them new skills they might not learn in the classroom. They are also gaining hands-on experience and possibly doing something new that they could then take an interest in. Another aspect of my ideology is the child's mental health and well-being. Outdoor learning allows children to release some stress they may be having from being closed up in a classroom. Forest schools have shown to have long-term impacts on children's confidence and resilience and have a more positive attitude. In summary, my ideology of education is that children should be happy and want to learn. We can engage children by making our education child-centred, creative and having less pressure. Although my ideology will be thought to be emphasising the individual, I believe I am also thinking about society, because without these aspects, society would not move forward.